place to go. Let it snow, let it snow.
Hey friend, it's Katie and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If so, you can subscribe. The button is always down below. Post beauty, lifestyle, panning, and more. And welcome to Vlogmas Day 9. Super excited. So for today's video, I'm going to be ranking all the palettes that I have bought in 2021. Here they are, little sneak peek. And actually, I've only bought 7 palettes. And technically two of them I didn't buy, which I'll explain in the video. But 7 is actually surprising because I believe there were years where I bought like upwards to like 20 and stuff. Yeah, I am really excited about this. I might be filming it a little prematurely, but honestly, not really, because I'm planning on not buying any more palettes for the rest of the year. And if I do, it'll be so late in the year that I'll more so count it for 2022 than 2021. So yeah, let's just get right into it and start ranking. So I think the bottom 2 won't come from a surprise if you have watched Tuesday's video, which was the tag video. I mentioned these as like disappointing like launch of the year, but these are like the ColourPop 5 pan palettes and stuff. This is what this one looks like. It is a more, and this is at the bottom just because this wasn't a bad palette at all. It wasn't a bad release at all, but it's also not a favorite, and this just wasn't what I expected and stuff, and it definitely isn't top tier. And for purples, I was very disappointed because I love purple, and this just wasn't, it didn't hit how I'd wanted it to. So that's kind of how I feel about the Amore palette. It's very beautiful, but it was disappointing. Like, I wish they would have done different things with this, if you know what I mean. So also at the bottom is another 5 pan palette from ColourPop from the same basically line, but this is the Lyric Press palette. This one I like a little bit more. Like, I find the shades to work about a little bit more. I love the coloring on this, but like I said, this isn't a terrible palette, but it's also not my favorite. Like, I like it, but I don't love it, and I also don't hate it and stuff. And I just wish they would have did something differently with these, but they're still okay palettes. They're just not great. So that's why these 2 are the bottom 2. So 7 and 6. So now we're going to go into the top 5. I didn't have that many. So we got to the top 5 real quick. So number 5 is this Naked 3 Mini, which I actually received for free in Influencer in response to my review. They don't even know I'm mentioning it, this in this video. I really do like this palette. I do think it's nice, but compared to my other ones, it wasn't like top tier. I do really like it. I think there's nice mattes, there's nice shimmers, but I find that I only like 4 out of 6 of these shades like a lot, and the shimmers aren't anything impressive. They're more dusty and stuff, but this is still like a good palette compared to the other ones. Compared to the bottom 2, but it's not like an ultimate favorite. And then number 4, also from ColourPop, I noticed like half of my palette purchases were from ColourPop this year, ironically. And this one is the Going Coconut palette from ColourPop. This had launched a bit ago, but I finally this year decided to buy it. I really like it. I haven't used it all that much, so I'm definitely gonna have to incorporate this into like a Shop My Stash in 2022. That should be part of a whole other video. I need to talk about that because I haven't done one in such a long time, and I kind of want to explain that, but as a side note and stuff. But I love like the rose gold and the bronzy type shades. It's a more cool tone palette, and I do love cool tones and warm tones, but I think I go closer to cool tones, and I just think it's such a pretty palette, and I love this palette. One of the best. And I also love how ColourPop palettes come out with this really nice mirror. Like, that's pretty decent for just a 9 pan small palette. But yeah, I do really like this, and I do think it's a nice palette. It's just not like top, but it's number 4. That's pretty good. So now we're on to the top 3, which I feel like is probably the most impressive that we're gonna get. So number 3 is the Huda Beauty Purple Haze palette. I got this in my Ipsy Glam Bag X in November. Love this. I love a lot of the shades. I've tried the purples, I've tried the mattes. They just really perform really well, and I think I just love the pigment and the look of all these shades. I really do love this palette. It's just super nice. I don't really have much to say about it, but they're just ultra pigmented, I feel like. Swatch a few for you. Just with just like a light grab, those performed so pigmented, and I just really love these. They're very blendable, and I just love this palette. I did not technically purchase this myself, but like, you know, buying the box, obviously you did pay for it, but like this palette, I believe, retailed for more than what the box retailed, or close to what. So it's almost like it paid for itself. And I just love this, and purples are my favorite tones, so I'm so happy to have this in my collection. So number 2 is the Mcguire and Glam Light palette, and I love this palette. First off, the packaging is just so cool, like the glitter. Just love that. Also, it has a killer mirror, by the way. Like, look how large that mirror is. And I just love a lot of these shades. Like, you can definitely tell that I've quite a bit used this palette. I love the purples, I love the tones. I love how it's a mix of colors. Like, you definitely have your pops, but then you also have neutrals, which I really like. And it's just a top palette because the pigment, I just love even just like the shimmers. I think the shimmers are definitely the hit in this palette, but I just think this is a really well done palette, and I'm obsessed. So the top palette of 2021, are we surprised, is the Lizzie Mcguire palette in collaboration with ColourPop. I just love this, like the texture on the palette. I think I may have done a review on this palette. I'll link it down below if I can remember when I post. I'll link it down below. I'll really try to link it down below. But I just love the color story of this palette. I love how it has your purples, your pinks, your warm tones, your pops of color with the greens. Like, that's a real pop in my opinion, because like purples and pinks I'll wear any day, but like greens, not always every day, but I do love it. And it's just like, I wore this palette for a couple months. Like, pretty much every time I wore makeup, I would put this on, and I just love it. And I definitely think it was probably one of the best, most iconic releases of 2021. It's just so good. Like, I cannot shut up about this. Like, I just love it. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for ranking my 2021 palettes. This video actually went quicker than I thought it would. Surprise, surprise, we know I like to ramble. But yeah, let me know what your top number 1 or your top 3 or top 5 palettes that you've bought this year are and stuff. Let me know about that down below. I'd love to hear about it, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, comment any requests for Vlogmas you have down below. I'd love to do more of those and stuff, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you tomorrow for day 10 of Vlogmas. Super excited. Bye everyone.